All right.
Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? What is going on? It is your the Pulse on Monday, not mornings, afternoons here. Myself and Ryan
Nights.
Turner, my guy over on the East Coast, holding it down.
Yep. Monday nights, just to clarify.
Well, for me, it's like super
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
We don't, like I said, what's on your side of the country isn't what's real. What's over here is
Okay, back
is
to
the
this.
real
Back
talk.
to this. Just us today, man. Finally, the two of us.
Yes.
No more annoying arm wrestlers to interrupt our podcast.
Yeah, we're finally alone.
Yeah, right. Been waiting.
Um, you guys know the way we kind of structure this is we go over Reddit. Me and Ryan run the Reddit, right? Basically the subreddit, and we're gonna go over the posts that people talk about, the most popular topics, give our opinions and thoughts on the topics themselves, and then and we're not gonna be. This isn't a super chat intensive show. So I mean, super chats will accept, but besides that, guys, we're pretty much gonna stay on topic with the Reddit. Yeah, we want to. This is Reddit's time to shine right now. It's Reddit's time to shine.
We care.
Yeah, we care. Obviously, I'm hosting today. This is on my channel, and it's never nearly as structured as Ryan. So I'm actually just going to go down the list of top most popular stuff from this week, and we'll just and then I'm going to make sure we throw in a nice mix of training questions as well, though, so we won't stay too long on all.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is really how Reddit's supposed to be. You just log in and see what people are talking about on the day. So I'm just overproduced.
You're an overachiever, right?
That's one way to put it.
Okay, I was just bringing up the chat, so I have the YouTube chat on my phone as well. Okay, so starting at the top here, did you watch this Larry Wheels on Levon's steroid abuse?
I did, yeah. 198 upvotes, man.
That what do you feel about that? Okay, so basically, by the way, it's Larry saying the top arm wrestler in the world takes so much steroid, you can't believe the stuff he takes. Oh my god, it's crazy. That's basically what he's saying, and that's why this clip has been clipped out. What do you think about him saying that?
Yeah, I can't imagine Levon would want that on the internet. I mean, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't care. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a not so secret issue in strength sports. I don't think that surprised anyone. I don't think anyone saw this clip and was like, "Oh my god, It can't be real." But yeah, I don't know what the culture is in that environment, but I can't imagine you want people going on podcasts talking about how much crazy amounts of stuff you're using. But that's just my 2 cents. But I mean, gotta ask Levon how he feels, I guess. And I mean, Larry's met Levon, so maybe they're like, yeah, we don't care, it's open. But I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the comments were talking about like, Larry has no idea, and he knows what stuff Levon's on, guys. I mean, I think that yeah, I mean, and I'm not saying that. Okay, we'll say, assuming Levon is on things, he stayed with Larry for a long time and worked out with Larry, and Larry featured him on his channel a bunch, gave him all his shots at King of the Table, and yeah, so they've definitely talked about steroid use, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah, Larry's really open about it, so I guess that's kind of keeping with his brand. Like, he does videos explicitly about what he does, and so that's just how he is. But yeah, I can't speak to whether or not it's true or whatever, but gonna have to take Larry's word for it.
Gotcha. I agree. I move forward. This was funny. This made me laugh. I'm sorry. I know this is a little controversial. So this is a guy doing a skit about Neil Pickup and the live streams and if Neil's show is going to be live or not. But let me show it to you guys. We'll just show it, man. Make it big. There we go. Cool.
Okay, go on. Devin Lowe takes on Sandra Sinis in a super match.
It's so good.
It's going to be, is it Neil? Neil! Is it live? Let's not dwell on when the match is happening. Because Sandra Sinis is going to take Devin into Neil! Is it live? Let's not think about whether it's like Neil!
Dude, his impression is the most impressive thing about that. Like his cadence and the accent, like what?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Wait, is my cam fuzzy? People are saying my cam looks weird.
Yeah. It looks like. Did you hotbox the room before going live, dude?
No.
That's what it looks like.
Why? I don't know why it's. Wait, so is that right?
Can you wipe your lens on the camera? Like.
Yeah, it's still okay. Wait, hold on. Let me turn off the light. Maybe it's better if I light off. Is that a little better?
I mean, it's fine. It's not a huge deal, but no, that didn't fix it. I wouldn't
I'm
say.
gonna have to figure this out. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Huh? No, definitely no hot boxing going on in the room. So
Yeah, allegedly.
Sorry, guys. We have to deal with that for the show, and I will figure it out after this. I promise. Okay, so moving forward, it's a meme posted by PowerPoint Man. Says, let me get my strap before we head out. And it's basically like I just got into arm wrestling and now I'm an expert starter pack, which has some, you can't see when I make it that big. It goes to a different, basically the first one is giving really general advice you learned 5 minutes ago, which is like so true. Like there's so many new guys that just hand out advice when they don't understand like the whys.
It's the Dunning-Kruger curve, right? When you only know a little, your confidence is way up, and then the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. So it's people at the beginning of that curve, right?
Exactly. I've had so many guys come through practice, man, and like I'll teach them the basics, and by the end of practice, I'll look over and I'll see them trying to teach a new guy stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
okay, glad that's not I'm not alone there. Yep,
yeah,
happens everywhere.
Always. Dominating your weakest friends. Maybe you're the next Devin Larratt. So, I mean, I imagine, you arm wrestle your brother who has no idea how to arm wrestle, and you beat him, and you got it. Sleeping in optimal form to perfect the hook. I never purposely slept with my arms close like that. Have you, Ryan?
Well, not exactly, but after my first few months in the sport, I couldn't sleep with my head on my arms because the side pressure from my head caused excruciating pain. So I had to sleep like a zombie.
Yeah,
not exactly the same, but
I've slept with my arms straight, but I've never slept with them like purposely bent, so I would tighten up my tendons or whatever. Ryan Bowen's your role model. Only does hammer curls and pronation exercises at the gym. I mean, nothing wrong with that,
Nope.
Mandatory arm wrestling session whenever going out with your friends. Still gets beat by people with above average arm strength. Yeah. For the first couple of years, I think that was me. I was like first year probably. I was making all my friends arm wrestle with me, and I was losing to random people. So I can see that.
Yep.
You've always been dominating everybody, haven't you, Ryan?
Yeah, natural. Yeah, no, because you learn the technique and you're like, oh, I got the secret sauce, man. I can beat everyone. But then there's that dude who reminds you it is a strength sport. And no matter how much top rolling you practice, if there's enough of a strength gap, you get beat.
Right, exactly. And there's ones about watching you, Schoolboy, and watching Devin beat Thor. And he's never actually been on an arm wrestling table, and you got pain in your forearm. The pain in your forearm is real. That's for sure. That stuff's not going away. But yeah, the other videos, I mean, pop arm wrestling culture, good, dude. That makes me happy. I'm glad people are sharing videos of Devin and Schoolboy and stuff. By all means,
get
it out there. And that's that Amazon table that they got a picture of. Do you have any of those tables at your practice? I hate those tables.
Dude, do you remember when those were on sale for like $40? All the pandemonium. I ordered one. I was like, worst case scenario, I'll do a return, and it turns out it never showed up.
Would you $40?
No, I've never used one of those. We do like Frank Hurst is out here, so he makes really good stuff. So we're pretty much all the tables around here are him or someone.
Yeah, I got two Frank Hurst tables at my practice.
Yeah, he's good, dude. He's real good.
All right, moving forward. Posted by Minimum Ad, says 300+ pound Devin, and it shows a picture of Engen's post saying yesterday during the video call, the number that Devin showed me on the scale was 290+ pounds, and he was just up from bed in the morning. So what was his? How much did he weigh after? He was heaviest versus Michael Todd or Levon?
Yeah, I think it was Michael Todd. And then he's like, I can't get that big again. But he didn't break 3. I remember that. He was 290 something. We never actually saw 300+ pound Devin on the table. So maybe we will, maybe we won't. But
I mean, and you want to say that immediately means a ton, but it can be bad things. It can be good. Like, it's not just the weight doesn't necessarily 100% mean Devin's that much more of a badass. I mean, somewhat, but it starts getting sloppy. It can, no matter what, even with Devin, I mean, he even admits when he starts getting really heavy, it starts getting a little bit sloppy. So, how much it'll mean on the table, we don't know. But generally, when he's bigger, he's done a bit better. But I think with anybody, once you start getting around 300 pounds plus, body fat and things start getting a little out of whack usually.
Right, you got to make it match your frame, But to be fair, he's humongous, so he might be able to pull off 3 comfortably.
That's true. Moving forward, posted by S0L4. So it's confirmed Voto really is a vampire. Where's this stat taken from right here? The stat page.
So it looks like Gold's Arm UI. So goldsarm.com is actually a pretty good resource for like upcoming and past events and athlete stats. And I think That's a screenshot from there. And what is it, like his ages or something?
Yeah, his
his
age is
age is
1,824.
yeah.
He weighs 24 pounds.
Oh, I didn't even catch that part.
So he's a skinny vampire. I got you.
There you go. There you
Makes
go.
sense. You gotta update your stuff, Gold's Arm. Update your stats, bro. I always mispronounce his name. Martino Doni. I posted a picture of, says me with arm wrestling content, and it's Levon drinking out of a giant cup, basically.
That is the most memeable picture of all time. We're going to be seeing memes from this exact image for years.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then someone like 2 days later posts a video from the same session where Levon's eating a slice of pizza, and it says, my new diet. Yeah, I erased it, by the way. Spam.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. This is funny because it's a giant cup, and it makes sense. Funny meme, but just anything Levon does, where he grabs a Snickers, you're gonna post about any diet. Like, stop. That's ridiculous. That's just spam. But this is funny. So anyway, yeah. I mean, I honestly used to be a lot more content. Like that used to be me for sure, if not a bigger cup for the first I don't know how many years. But now it's like I try to stay up to date on relevant things and stuff like that. But to be honest, I'm not like hinging on every word. There's a lot of stuff I don't watch. I mean, unless it has something I'm looking for. You know, if I'm looking for current content on Alazan Muratov, which I've been trying to looking for, then I'll go dive for him. But yeah, I don't just usually just sit up and watch. You know,
it's I think that was from his Instagram. But no, I mean, you're right, dude. Arm wrestling is blowing so much, especially with East vs West, bringing so many guys from the East into the picture, and there's so many matches per event. It's hard to keep up with everything. So I don't know if everyone can, but yeah, like Muratov and all these new names, I'm trying to get up to speed. Like I pretty much assume if they're at WAF or if they're at East vs West from the East, they're a multiple WAF champion, which is probably a guaranteed true. But the language barrier is tough, and there's not always a lot of footage on YouTube, so it's tricky.
Next one, I kind of dropped the ball, but kind of didn't. I want to. This is posted by Australia. Congratulations, 15,000 members on the Reddit. Now, thank you guys for all joining up. I want to do something special at 20,000. Yeah, I want to figure out something cool. I mean, last time I think we hit, was it 10,000? I did the video.
Dude, that was sick.
The video with all the people. I don't know. I want to do something cool at 20,000. So I'm gonna wait till we get there. I'm gonna plot on something. I'm gonna plot something pretty cool for 20,000. I just gotta.
Yeah, for those who don't know, when we hit 10, Derek got like a bunch of arm wrestlers to shout out the subreddit and say congratulations. That was a really cool video. Do you know what it was when you started? How many subs there were?
Oh,
like,
no, dude.
I think I was at like under 2,000, and you were already there, so you must have been.
Yeah, it wasn't many. I can't remember, to be honest. There's guys over here before me, but yeah, it wasn't many. So for those of you guys that don't know, fun fact about the Reddit, the Reddit began by when I just got into arm wrestling in my hometown. I was hanging out with a couple buddies of mine. Now we played video games together, and I was like arm wrestling, but we were video game nerds. We played Call of Duty together. I was telling one of the guys about how I was into arm wrestling, and for like a day and a half, he's like, maybe I can get into arm wrestling. He kind of got the idea was churning for a day and a half. Anyway, he's my buddy Chris, and he's super nerdy, right? And so he was heavy into Reddit. So right away, that first day of me talking about arm wrestling, he went and created arm wrestling subreddit, right? He just made it right away. And then I moved. Me and Chris hadn't talked for years. And then years later, he randomly hits me up. He goes, "Hey, I made this like a long time ago. Do you want it?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so that's when he gave me the mod admin mod powers or whatever. And yeah, that's how that whole got started. It was a guy from my hometown that made the subreddit.
He's still listed as one of the moderators. So
yeah, that's why you see Chris Caps at the top. That's my buddy Chris.
Yep.
I'm not sure why he's staying on it, but yeah, he made it.
Come to take it back, man. Like, letting you do all the legwork to grow it, and then he's gonna come back and take it over.
Imagine he just gets paid, like he hits me up one day. He's like, "Hey, I need $10,000." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I'm taking the subreddit." Oh my god, I'd go to you guys first. I'd be like, "Oh, we're being started."
Yeah, mutiny.
Yeah, right. All right, moving forward. Posted by Vape in Van. Anybody else find Arm Wars videos too busy and disorienting? No, not for me. What about you, Ryan?
They are definitely the most produced videos in the arm wrestling space because it's like they show some footage and then they do the like in the middle of the match they cut to like interviews, post-match interviews. So like on round one, after round one, they'll have the athlete from after the match cut in and explain what they were thinking and feeling. So I think they're really the only promotion that does it like that. But like Neil said, he's trying to get a deal here to get on like network television or get on Netflix or something, which are produced shows. They don't want someone to just stick a cell phone camera on a tripod and film. That's not going to get you on Netflix. You have to produce it. So yeah, it's not going to jive with everyone. Clearly not with Vape and Van here, but I don't think it's a problem to have some very highly produced ones and then more raw ones and places in between. So the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned, but I do understand what he means. If I want to watch an arm wrestling match, like Arm Wars is more of like a story. It's more of like a TV show where you get invested and you're hearing from the athletes. If you're just a purist arm wrestler, yeah, you might be a little angsty just sitting there listening to a lot of talk.
I want to see more arm wrestling. I got what you're saying. Like you want to see just more of the action. I got you. Yeah, I mean, everybody, everybody's welcome to their own opinion about it. I just like, there's so many other ones where it is just nonstop arm wrestling that I kind of see Arm Wars sometimes like a break or like a vacation from all the underproduced ones or that have like no production quality.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, it's kind of nice every once in a while, right? Because there's 99% of them are just camera go, right? And so exactly. So if they were all like this, it might get a little annoying. But if there's one, I'm like, cool. For this one, I can go through it and enjoy it for what it is, I think. So
yeah, exactly.
Another post about Devin's weight, which we probably should get rid of. I mean, there's 2 posts about Devin. We don't need a bunch of posts about the same thing.
Yeah, that one had a link, so I was like, I guess it's a little different. I don't know, whatever.
Right. Posted by Asfunter says, why is no one talking about Muratov? And looking jacked, absolutely looking jacked in the gym.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of weights the Kazakhstan guys lift. I know they're pretty heavy on like table time and like recreating gym lifts on a table and stuff like that, but I haven't seen, besides Trubin, you don't see a ton of max effort, crazy number of lifts from Kazakhstan pullers. Trubin used to do it pretty often, but I mean, can you think of any that I'm not thinking of?
You see Morozov posts a lot of stuff like that, right?
Oh, Morozov. But isn't Morozov like Russian that lives in Kazakhstan?
Yeah. I don't know where you want to draw the line there, but yeah, I actually just did a video on that club in Shadara, like that like arm wrestling mecca over there. And yeah, they definitely don't seem to be about that like heavy max weight. And this definitely isn't a gym from it. This looks like a very high quality gym, whereas that's more, at least it didn't look like that. I'll just say that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's from in Kazakhstan or where he trains or who he trains with, but he's huge.
Dude, Muratov is jacked for sure. I'm excited about seeing that match with Cody. I did last Wednesday. I did my actual East vs. West predictions. I went through it all. I actually, a very, very controversial. I actually predicted Cody to win. Cody's my boy, and I decided to make the Cody prediction, which I know I'm in the minority on making this prediction, but I'm going with Cody on this one.
There you go. Bias
against all statistics. I'm going with Cody.
Yeah, I have that except RVJ. That's my one controversial pick.
That's your one.
That he takes it and sweeps it.
Sweeps it.
So on record.
All right. It's posted by JJG4L. Says, Hermes said, I didn't train my wrist a lot for Levon. Now I need to improve my hand, wrist, and fingers. Hermes said going into the Levon match, he felt his wrist was super strong, having not lost his wrist to Dave. He basically said the past 2 years he's been overconfident with his wrist abilities, but he said now he needs to focus on training his wrist to another level to get it better against Levon next time. Hermes 4.0 is going to be even more of a beast. I feel sorry for Jerry, LOL, from recent Paul interview is the source. Well, okay, yeah, Hermes' hand is really strong, hand and wrist, but I mean, in terms of Jerry gives it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you think Hermes getting a stronger hand and wrist is going to change him and Jerry, right? That hand is going back regardless. Jerry will give it up. So Hermes doesn't need a lot of hand and wrist. That's not the answer for Jerry. You need a lot of shoulder commitment. You need a lot of elbow. You need a lot of center table control. So JJG4L, what you talking about, Willis? What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. I mean, if Hermes can plug that hole in his game, I mean, I think it'll be obviously even closer with Levon. But yeah, that's not what I'm like. Oh, he needs to fix that for Jerry at all. It didn't even cross my mind. It's that back pressure and just that raw power that he demonstrated against Levon that Jerry should be worried about.
I mean, and honestly, how much closer would it make it for Levon? So, is he saying that he thinks his wrist is going to be strong enough to stop Levon from taking his wrist? Like he's going to maintain cup with Levon? I think he's Hermes 9.0 maybe holds on to Levon, but not Hermes 4.0. Like basically, that wrist the wrist strength looked pretty big, like a big gap, like it does to everybody against Levon. So I mean, Hermes got the stop when his wrist was gone, like a Jerry situation where that's when he was able to get that stop on Levon. So yeah, I don't think Hermes protecting his wrist, getting his wrist stronger, is going to make that big of a difference against Levon. I still think it ends up in the same spot unless he gets it way stronger.
Right. If there's a gap of 20% and he closes it to 15%, that's not going to matter. You're still going to be,
right.
But yeah, if he can get his cup strong enough to keep it against Levon, different story. But good luck.
Moving forward, posted by you. This is our old post for Todd Hutchings. You guys, thank you, by the way, for hanging out with us. And Todd, that was great having him on the show. We'll definitely get him back in here at some point. Todd's fantastic for this type of stuff. He loves answering questions, and he thinks he's so smart. He thinks he's so smart. All right, posted by the one from Masai. Says Devin versus Hermes and weight. Dude, everything's about Devin and weight and Hermes. Devin was around 130 kg to pull Michael Todd, and Levon will be around 130 to pull Gennady and Dennis. Hermes is around 130, so they can easily compete at that weight, but Devin wants to pull him at 115. It's clear Devin would like to pull at that weight because he thinks he has more chances. What's not clear is why Hermes, who is chasing the top super heavyweights and aiming at the number one spot, should cut heavily just to meet Devin's needs. And number two, why some fans think Hermes cutting and pulling at 115 when they're both 130 and already competing at that weight makes sense. So since they're at the same weight, they should pull. Cutting, first off, I will to your first point, why Hermes would cut to meet Devin, because Devin's a way bigger draw in terms of public acknowledgement and views on the sport. He's going to get way more clicks about him pulling Devin than he will against him pulling anybody else. So if the only match you have to get your name out the most, to get sponsors and blow up your social media, is to pull Devin, then there's your incentive to make the cut. If Devin says he'll only do it at 115 kg, there's your incentive why he should do that. Right now, I understand it's getting all social media aside. Like, why would he cut? I mean, doesn't make a ton of sense, but I don't know if Devin was planning to get this heavy for a long time. I mean, in the videos I'd seen previous, he didn't keep saying, I'm gonna get really heavy, I think it's kind of just happening because he's resting and eating and just the way he's training. But I don't think it was planned as far as I know. But maybe Devin will be down to pull him at 130. Has he said hardcore that he will not? Have you heard anything about that, Ryan?
No. I think it's just generally Devin can cut. Like, I mean, back in the day, I think he used to pull definitely 198s, but he maybe even got into 176 at one point at like 6'5". So I think it's simple. I think Devin feels like he can cut down to 115 easier than Hermes can, and so he wants to do it. Devin will do anything to win. Winning is number one, and so if he has more of an advantage down there, he'll do it. Whereas Gennady's not going to cut, right? He's not going to make these demands against Gennady or Levon because they just won't be able to do it. But if he can make Hermes uncomfortable and have to cut weight, I think it's just a strategic decision to make Hermes more uncomfortable than Devin will be uncomfortable.
Gotcha. All right. So where would you rather see the match at, 130 or 115?
130, honestly. I mean, because you never want to be like, oh, how much did the cut affect them, blah, blah, blah. So if you just let them open weight, you don't really have those kind of excuses anymore. So it's cleaner data.
Right.
How about you?
You know what? If it's king of the table, like running fouls, seeing him at 130 and maybe seeing Devin get gas out, make it a little interesting. Potentially him gassing out a little bit. I know Hermes he probably still has better endurance than Hermes, but I don't know. A heavy Devin, we've seen heavy Devin against Michael Todd at Wall when he kind of gassed, right? And maybe there's that brings another element to the game.
That is
it. And I don't know. I guess somebody else say 130. Bigger boys.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this episode. I'm not gonna lie right here. Posted by Tuxhorn, says the pursuit of thickness has gone too far. Someone said something about bees have been stinging Devin. Did you watch this?
Yeah, I bounced around through it, and apparently this is a legitimate therapy. Engin was talking about how they do this in Turkey too. They have a bee sting, in this case the back of his hand, I believe it was, and that's gonna bring. I mean, it's going to cause inflammation or more blood flow, or I don't know how much hard science this is, or is this just like bee bro science? But apparently people do it to kind of increase blood flow to the region, sort of like, I don't know, cupping, the cupping massage stuff or whatever. I think that's the idea, right? It brings certain nutrients to that region because your body's like, oh, something's going on here. Let's bring nutrient-rich blood to that region. So
Right.
yeah, apparently it's not as crazy. It wasn't just for show. This is a real thing people do.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, it makes bro sense in my head, I guess, a little bit. Like, like not the most, not yeah. I feel like it's very not scientific, but it kind of makes bro sense a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Posted by Vape and Van. It says, so Devin versus Chafee is happening sometime this summer, the new rebooted WAL, question mark. So, I mean, is there anything behind this? Or Devin talked about Dave being his next opponent after Gennady and talks to WL coming back soon. Doesn't it make sense that since Devin wants to face Dennis in September, maybe the Dennis match will happen later in the year and Devin versus Hermes has to happen sometime next year or even earlier? Imagine the hype for that match. I mean, Dennis or Devin and Chafee, that's a WL match. I mean, that matchup is a WL, like, you know, branded match, basically. So I wouldn't be shocked if they did launch and they had that as one of their opening matches. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to come back, it's going to be with a banger because they are backed by some serious dudes. I went down this rabbit hole just trying to get a statement from someone at WAL about what the deal is. And they are like working with consulting groups and Turner Media and like all this. So it's like, if they're going to come back, it's going to be with a banger like Devin versus Chafee, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the match. But I don't want to get hyped for anything until there's something concrete because their social media is a big tease. They're still wishing athletes happy birthday. They're still posting all this stuff. But until I see a date and time, I'm not going to worry about WAL. But I would love to see him come back. But again, my heart can only take so much.
I just picture like some like random like secretary, lowly office worker, young girl with glasses sitting in an empty, like abandoned office building with a single computer being paid by Wall just to send happy birthday notes and make spicy updates. Just
That's probably exactly what's going on. The social media intern never got the memo to leave.
It keeps working. We had a super chat from Silky Wilkie. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Silky. You're awesome. Says, instead of a pail of chalk, we should have a pail of live bees between the rounds. Oh. Hey, you stick your hand in the live bee pail, pull it out, Jeff Dave going on, and then go on the table. That would be painful.
Devin's so influential. I'm worried how many people are going to go around sticking their hand in beehives now.
They're like, I saw Devin do this.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a great idea.
Yep.
I'm gonna get kicked by a horse. It'll blow up my arm and it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, that's the next one.
All right, here posted by Fatfoot, aka Grant Diet. Drama Grant. But basically, this video was about just trying to push this whole Neil Pickup and Ryan Bowen drama thing and trying to not let it go. And but basically, this is a post from Ryan's wife to Neil, kind of going off on Neil about how she thinks he's unprofessional, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know the whole story. I don't know if I even want to know the whole story. I've had a couple people try to explain it to me about the drama between Neil and Ryan and stuff like that. And I kind of see what they've been talking about in the videos, but I don't know, man. I just like all this seems like we're blowing up. It's nowadays, not just this, like in general, it seems like we're blowing things way out of proportion. Things that are not big deals, like we're making them way bigger deals just because we're bored or we want drama or we want internet hype. It's kind of awkward a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Neil made a weird call and he had something that we all thought was live and wasn't live. Cool. Like it's bad. Like I get it. Bad Neil, right? Done 4,000 events that were great. Everybody loved. Does one that's like a little controversial. Bad Neil. And even he's like, oh, okay, maybe I should have done it that way. End of, right? It doesn't need to go anywhere past that. It's not that big of a deal. It's like he screwed a bunch of people over out of their money and he's just like, killed a child or something. It's just like he made a small weird call, but everybody like won't let it go and just trying to blow it up. And I don't know, there's like looking for drama, like trying to make it more than it is, which is just weird to me. So yeah, I mean, my question is, and Ryan's my boy, but Ryan Bowen. But do you think that Ryan's even doing kind of playing on that at the same time, making it a bigger deal because it's gaining traction?
Did you say it one more? What was the question?
Like, do you think Ryan's playing into the fact that this is gaining traction, even though it's not a big deal? Like, he's playing into the fact that drama.
Yeah, I mean, he's no stranger to drama, and it's played a major role in, I would say, him getting to where he is in the sport. Like, he's not afraid to shy away from it and capitalize from it, and he's very, very smart about it too. I'll credit where it's due. He has built himself up off of a lot of hate. This, however, his wife making a post publicly, I mean, generally, like, you want to leave the wives and girlfriends out of it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's down with this because now she's bringing herself into the conversation, which is fair. That's her choice, but that just raises the level a lot that I can't imagine he's comfortable with. So this seems like legitimate issues. I hope it's not. This is so stupid, and we're all going to forget about this in 6 months anyway. So I hope this just brushes over. It doesn't help anyone. But yeah, I mean, this is the perfect storm of drama, right? Neil coming off the Arm Wars stuff, and then Bowen, there's always something going on. So put the two together, and here you go. But yeah, I'm all about match drama, but this interpersonal stuff, I'm over it.
Same. All right, so some random dude posts this random video of him stopping by RVJ's practice for some cues. So how'd that go? Tell me about this video, Ryan.
Yeah, so I'm making content for East vs. West, and Neil's like, hey, you're in the Northeast US, right? Any chance you can swing by RVJ's place?
Neil said that?
In-person stuff. What's that?
You said Neil said that. Neil said that or Engen?
Oh, did I say Neil? Sorry. Yeah, Engen. So Engen's like, hey, you're in the Northeast. Why don't you swing by Rob's, do an in-person interview? You know, we always do the Zoom stuff. It'd be cool to really get some footage and whatever. So I was like, yeah, I go up to Granite Arms pretty often anyway. So swung up there with a few cameras, got Rob on the table, got some questions, got a flex out of him. And he is ridiculously strong, dude. I pull him, every so often. They do like a couple parties every year. So I usually see him at least once a year and pull. And I'm obviously stronger than I've ever been, and he is stronger than I've ever felt him. So somehow he like widened the gap between us, even though I'm getting way stronger. So, dude, if Zurab wins, I'll just have to shift my mindset of just how good these guys are. Because Rob, just everywhere we went, man, I pressed, I top rolled, I hooked. He feels awesome and mentally clear, sharp, excited. So yeah, that's my controversial pick, because even on like the stakings, it's like Rob only has to win one match to win. It's a shutout in Zurab's favor. I think Rob has a real chance of winning this.
Wait, so from your perspective, Rob Vidget suddenly got pretty strong?
Oh, don't go there.
I'm just wait.
Rob alone.
He's always felt this way, right? And then right now he feels a whole different way.
You leave Rob alone.
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying that's what you said, right? That's an interesting take. It's an interesting take.
Yes. He's been eating his Wheaties and creatine.
I'm just okay. All right.
Yeah, so check it out if you want to see some footage of Rob on a practice table and some questions and answers. But yeah, the dude's a monster, man. I can't wait for that match.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about the matches, man. And I'll see Rob out there.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't come to Turkey, man. You should be hanging out with us, Ryan.
Oh, how about some breaking news on the Pulse? Engen tapped me to come out. So for East vs. West 7. And all the stuff going on here. So I'm scrambling. I'm trying to get the passport. Like, it's in the mail, but he wants me there for East vs. West 7 to do some like behind the scenes filming and just post like interviews with athletes. Basically what I did with Rob, but at the venue for East vs. West. So there's a chance I will see you there. I'm just waiting on a passport. Otherwise, I can't get on a plane.
Why have you not messaged me about this? Why don't I know this stuff? Why am I finding out on the show too?
Because I don't have my passport. And if I don't have a passport, I'm supposed to leave Sunday, like less than a week. I'm supposed to be on a plane, and I do not have a passport. So I don't want to be like, yo, I'm going to be here, get everyone hyped up for behind the scenes footage, and then be like, oh, I couldn't make it. So you're pretty much the only one I've really told. And everybody. So now it better come. It's shipped though. It's shipped, and it should be arriving this week. So I feel comfortable saying it.
Wow, dude, is your lady go with you, or are you going solo?
No, she can't get the time off work because of everything going on. She's already taken so much time, and the schedule just doesn't work. So it'll just be me. But excited to see you there. When are you getting in?
You're flying out on Sunday?
Yeah, because I got to be there like before everyone gets there and like see them as they come to the venue and film all that. So getting there all week. Getting there Monday.
Okay, we're getting there. What, Thursday, Wednesday? Thursday. We get there Thursday.
Sweet, man. So maybe we can do a surprise Pulse episode while we're there.
What, on like a Thursday? I won't see you on Monday. I fly out on Sunday to Italy.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to Italy, man.
Yeah. Sweet. We'll figure out something. We'll go live. Anyway, all right. Let's not sit on this for too long, I guess. But that's awesome. I'm excited to see you there.
Yeah, same.
So Eddie Bot 1, 2, 3, 4. All those numbers says, "Are you excited for Travis to be commentating at East vs. West again?" Voting already closed. Are you excited for Travis to be commentating East vs. West, Ryan?
I think he's funny. But you're gonna be in there too. So I just hope a balance is struck because like you give like real good down to earth stuff. Travis is the color commentary. And
Right.
I hope you guys can find that balance between talking trash and like talking about what's going on.
I
Because
hope
Travis
so.
is a firecracker. We'll put it that way.
It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. I mean, there's no way we're not gonna have fun with it and stuff like that. I've been joking around on my live stream about the way it could possibly go and break down with me and Travis. But yeah, in the end, I think it'll be a good time no matter what. Just Travis had last time I was listening, man, like it's kind of torn, right? Especially the North Americans love when Travis is all pro North America, but then at the same time, I'm like, I really want to. I try to be really unbiased commentator. I mean, I think you should be. You know what I mean? When you're out there, you got to be pretty neutral because there's a lot of people that aren't North American watching as well, and so I don't know how that's gonna play. Like he's gonna say some stuff, I'm just gonna start laughing at him, and be like, dude.
Yeah,
you can't start rooting for USA like while on the mic while we're watching these matches.
Travis does what Travis wants, man. He will listen to no rules. He will do what he wants. Neil's gonna be there too, right? Aren't you guys gonna be like switching in and out?
Yeah, no one told me how it breaks down exactly. I guess we'll figure out when we're there. Yeah, I don't know if there's a trade going or what we're doing, how that works.
Nice.
All right. Moving forward, posted by Beard Artist. He says, my fights from Polish Nationals where I won right-handed 105 plus kg and third right-handed overalls and then third left-handed. Do you watch this? He's a beast, dude.
My fights from the post. I don't think I saw this post. No,
dude, he is an absolute human. Like, he's aggressive. He screams at everybody in the crowd and stuff.
Is he flop pressing? Yeah, he is.
No, he's not intentionally flop pressing. He's going sideways. He just lost his
Okay, yeah. That's impressive. Yeah, his arm got opened up and he still had a lot of side pressure to finish there.
Yeah, he's this guy's like, oh, you're a yeller, huh?
Oh, that's interesting. He won the right hand super heavies, but came in third in the overall. So who's beating him?
Probably some badass lightweight guy.
Yeah, right. There's always one.
Yeah, there's always one. There is for sure. Yeah, you don't want to send this video for too long, but yeah, I watched it. It was super impressive. Super strong arm wrestler for sure. Yeah, there's Alex Kudecha and stuff in the back.
Sweet.
In terms of Polish arm wrestling, man, I'm still waiting on Camille to make his big appearance.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward, posted by Vapin Van. Again, it says, look at the freaking size of this thing. I guess he's about the picture of Devin's hand, I'm guessing.
I hope so. But yeah, I assume that's what he's talking about. Or maybe that bone on the back of his wrist, dude. That is
yeah.
So, but either way, yeah, Devin's looking ridiculous, dude. He's just blowing up. His face is bigger. The dude's gonna come in hot, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, he must be doing that RBJ training.
Oh, stop!
What,
Rob, man? That's my boy.
No, I know. You just said they're both getting really strong. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, posted by analyst objective 8123. My janky 50 towel double dumbbell riser lift. Hey, first off, if it works, it works, man. Don't be ashamed of your janky setup. I've done lifts with book bags and all types of weird things, water jugs. So towel's great, to be honest. There you go. But if it's wrapped around the back of your hand, how is it isolating your riser? I mean, it is a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to hold it. I would almost rather him just hold the whole thing in his palm and just have it go over instead of looped.
The riser, so you're holding it like where it's like this, right? And so it's basically all completely looped around your hand. I'd rather have all the weight over your front knuckles like this, where all the way is in the front and you're maintaining your riser that way. It definitely isolates it more than the way you're holding it. Just because the weight on the bottom, I don't know how to explain it, strap is going to be leaning into your palm and not 100% on the front of your knuckles. So we definitely want all the riser pressure on the front of your hand, the very front of your knuckles, not anywhere within your palm, right? But yeah, I mean, dude, those lifts, that was me, that was me in my bedroom when I started with rubber bands and bull crap, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you don't need fancy stuff to get into this sport. Pete Milano used to put 2-liter Pepsi bottles, like the cap between his finger, and raise them up and bring them back down.
Oh my God.
So you can get creative.
Posted by Motivated Chimpanzee. Says how Larry Wheels started arm wrestling. I didn't watch this yet, but I actually want to. I'm thinking I'm gonna go back and sit and watch this interview.
That one's worth it. Yeah, I did catch that post. He's super real, man. He's like, yeah, I got my butt whipped by a girl, and Bradley's trying to like bail him out. He's like, oh yeah, but you were this. He's like, no, like I just got beat. Like there's no excuses, nothing. I was in strongman shape. I just had a strongman competition a few weeks ago or whatever. So he's like, I just straight up got beat, no excuse. So yeah, he kept it really real. I respect Larry for that.
When he pulled Alexandra at the Fit Expo when I first brought him over there. Yeah, she was giving it to him.
That's not who he's talking about, is it?
That has to be. Yeah, that was the first time. So
is it?
He got on the table with Travis on some stage years ago for like a couple seconds, and then the very first time is when he had a strongman competition where he did his first strongman event, I believe. I think it was his first strongman event, and we had that table. We just finished filming the UAL California State tournament, and me and Alex and Alexandra, his wife, were standing there, and we had an arm wrestling table, and I was like, dude, Alex, how sick would it be if we got Larry Wheels who's standing right there on the table? And then we Larry's manager, oh my gosh,
Adam Silver, right?
Adam Silver. Yeah, Adam knew of Alex and knew of Arm Wrestling TV, and so he's like, oh, and then so we got them to talk. We had a mutual friend. I had them introduce. They started talking. And then Adam's like, come on, Larry. Oh, it's a really big channel. Let's go do that because Alex had a big channel. And yeah, so I got Larry on the camera and on the table, and Alexandra was whacking him. She was whacking him, and he couldn't know how to stop her for the first few times.
Yeah, she is. I've seen her pull a few times in person. She's so fast, dude. It's scary, man. She's the real deal. But do you know what you got started when you got Larry on that table, man?
It was awesome.
Like we wouldn't have King of the Table without you, and lot of great footage, and who knows, man.
Yeah, basically, you're welcome, guys. Welcome everybody. Sport of Arm Wrestling.
Yeah, dude, that's
King
wild,
of the Table.
Dude.
You know, it's all.
That is a wild story.
All right, let's see. I'm not getting into a lot of training stuff. I guess there was one that we just did. Vavoda versus Datakayan. Dude, the video I saw, I saw the little short, really fast clips, but it looked like Datakayan was in complete control in every clip. But they're like trying to spin it to make it look like it's really close or something.
Yeah, I mean, no shame. Tadikian's freaking crazy good. So I'm not like, oh, the Vavoda sucks. But yeah, you never know how much of that was for show. But hey, whatever. What can you do?
I'm excited about Voda's comeback. I am. I'm excited to see what he does with John and how that match works out for sure.
Yeah.
Did Jerry get skipped over as one of Levon's potential opponents?
Depends who you ask. If you ask Jerry, abso-freaking-lutely, he should be on that table at East vs. West 8. The problem is Jerry got that injury, right, when he was first set to pull Hermes, and that kind of threw a wrench into everything. I think we probably would see Jerry versus Levon maybe at East vs. West 8 had he not got that injury and then had to do the match with Georgie, and then Hermes got his shot and blah, blah, blah. So, no, I don't think he got skipped over. I think he got hurt and had to kind of reprove that he's no longer or not injured and can pull at that level.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of opponents. I love Jerry getting in the mix because it's such a wrench in the mix. It's such a weird style that just like with all the other matches, you can kind of get a grasp of how it's going to go. Like, oh, this guy's hook's way stronger than this guy's hook, or this guy's top. You know, like you kind of have a better idea. But when you throw someone like a flop presser or even a Kings mover in there, it kind of just gets weird. But especially flop pressers, there's more Kings movers nowadays. I feel like there are than hardcore flop pressers, dedicated flop pressers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Jerry's matches. I'm always excited to see a Jerry match for sure. But yeah, I don't know if he got skipped over. Yeah, if he was hurt, then he was hurt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hermes new training routine. I watched it. It's pretty low intensive. I don't know if this is actual every rep he does for his entire training session, or he's just shooting the highlights. Like sometimes when I do training videos, I'll just film like my last set, or I'll just film like a little bit of it. Or if this is his whole workout. If so, it's not super as intensive as I would have thought.
Yeah. I don't know what the context is, but maybe that was just his not intense day or volume day. Who knows what part of his workout? But
But I mean, Hermes, the results speak for themselves, obviously, when it comes to Hermes.
Yeah. Plus, there's all kinds of subterfuge going on and baiting, and you never know what they're showing on their YouTube.
Right.
Do we hit the end of the top?
Yeah, we did. So just hot.
Hot for today. Maybe we can just do some live on the spot stuff.
For today, hot.
What's hot? Right?
Monster Factory, more Mega Thread. Oh, you got that put up there?
Yeah, pin that.
Oh, arm break surgery device. I'm not clicking on that, man. If it's a video of an arm break, I'm not clicking on it. Sorry, guys. Not happening.
Another impressive puller.
Who is this? Huh? Oh
I love seeing this stuff, man. We got some real arm wrestlers on the subreddit.
Wait, is this the dude with no hair that?
Huh?
This no way. Wait, what? Wait.
You can tell them stand up like Travis Bajan did.
Oh my God. Oh, backwards hand getting tied.
Way to fight.
That is insane.
Insane. You couldn't be any closer to the pin pad on the losing side there. That's
why you have to stand up for
Come on, Matt. Let's go, Matt.
Can you hear it? Can you hear the volume on that?
Stand up. Stand up, Rich.
I love arm wrestling so much. I love arm wrestling so much, man. To be in those moments and stuff like that and be that intense. That's great.
Nothing like it, man.
Posted by Ryan Bowen. Wow. Ryan over here on the Reddit sharing things. We were on some show together recently, and I was like, man, you made it back to the Reddit. And Ryan is the biggest enemy number one on Reddit for sure, hands down.
Dangerous territory for Mr. Bowen.
Yeah, I mean, props to Ryan for showing back up, man. He's posting the arm wrestling AWE 2 update. Oh, Todd Hutchings is pulling Big Marty, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, for the international belt on the line, then Lachlan Adair and Jordan Sill. What do you think about that?
Cool.
Who do you think takes that? Quick prediction.
Jordan.
Jordan?
Yeah, dude, he was super impressive back in the WAL days. To be fair, I haven't really followed him much recently, but he was a monster, man. So that's okay. To be honest, that's my bias. That's my bias coming in. I want to see Jordan pop off again and get his name back in the swing of things. We just don't have the data. I can't give you a good prediction, but I'll be supporting Jordan to make a statement.
Makes sense. Then Marcus Taride versus Gunter Bykovs. I think those are both Australian guys. I mean, from different places, but both live in Australia. Ryan Bowen versus Artem Taranenko. This is interesting because I never thought that Ryan's always trying to move up and take these legitimate pros and the best guys in the world. And from Ryan's perspective, it's interesting him showing from his perspective enough respect to Artem to take a match on a top card with Artem. And that I think that speaks volumes to all the improvements Artem's been making. You know what I mean? As an arm wrestler, not just as a content creator, right? And Artem's getting big. He's getting strong as hell. Like he's making big gains. And for Ryan to actually take a match with Artem, I mean, I think it just shows that he respects him as an arm wrestler a lot more now. That his ability.
Yeah. Isn't Artem getting close to like 242? He's
blowing up. He's getting right now. So who do you think wins that? I mean, traditionally, Ryan's always been a lot bigger guy than Artem, and I would have it as Ryan, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's right arm. Isn't Artem's better left hand, right?
So I'm gonna go with Bowen as the favorite on this one. I think, especially because Bowen's looking big and strong, and he's on that new strength training program with a strength coach, and he's looking great. So I think this is his match to lose.
I'm gonna go right-handed Artem. I'm gonna throw Artem. I mean I understand why Bowen would win. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say Artem. I'm gonna randomly pick. We got a couple all Australian matches. I think Mario's amazing. These guys are awesome. Giannis is out there. I didn't know Giannis is going out there.
Yeah, okay. It looks like a bunch of Latvians are showing up. Raymond's gonna be there too, left hand.
Ryan and Raymond's left-handed. Why?
I have no idea. Bowen and left-handed super match against Ray. Makes no sense to me. But
doesn't Ray pull left-handed?
And Bowen ignores his left hand, so I don't know what's that about. But
that's
whatever. I'll watch it.
And Ray's going all the way out there only for a left-handed match. There's no right-handed match for Ray. That's weird. Maybe
is weird. Maybe he has another match. somewhere. I don't know. He doesn't want to risk injury. Who knows? But
and then Mario and Artem. Mario's really good, man. He came out here and pulled. He's really strong. I think Artem might be too much that by then though for him. Artem's getting big and strong, man. So
yeah, well, this is impressive, man. They're getting some big names out here. Because they tried to get Todd for the first one and couldn't get him, so it was more of a local thing, at least for the first one. But like New Zealand and Australia. But then this is impressive. So AWE, man,
yeah, doing big thing. I mean, if Ryan's gonna keep burning bridges, I mean, I guess he's just gonna have to create his own.
You think that was?
I don't know what I'm like. Hey, Ryan's my boy. I'm not even hating, but I mean, I'm not saying he's creating all these bridges being burned. I'm just saying there are bridges burning, and if that's the case, and Ryan, then run your own event, like what I mean. And he is, like what I mean. Like if he's not getting along with Neil and Arm Wars is out, and he's not getting along with Engen and East vs West is out, and the wall's not in play right now. I think he's still okay with King of the Table, as far as I know. But if that's his only option, then yeah, maybe start hosting your own.
Like, yeah, it's him and a few others, and also like Australia. Dude, it must stink, man, to like have to travel every time for these events. So it's like I'm sure a bunch of people are like, finally a proper event in Australia. It must be nice.
I just looked up flights randomly, and it was like $2,400 for a flight to Australia.
Jesus, yeah,
dude, it's wildly expensive. Let's see. I'm gonna try to look for a training question here. We're running out of time here pretty quick. I want to get a couple little training questions in, if we can find any. Training for upcoming high school matches. Well, that's just kind of a video of a guy lifting weights. That's not really a question. Here we go. Posted by Anime Wee Barif says, how often should I train and what should I train? Novice here, I'm a total beginner, and I want to know what should I practice and how many times a day / week what I should practice. There's one kid in my school with extremely dominant hand and side pressure. I want to know what I have to work on to beat him, as well as standard training. What do you think, Ryan? You go first.
Oh, let's where to start? So absolute beginner saying, what do I do? Start from the end and work your way in. So you're going to find your fingers being attacked. So finger flexion, which is going to be different from the next part down, wrist flexion, right? I like to train both of those separately. So finger flexion, wrist flexion, right? They each are their own thing. So that's going to protect your hand. You said someone has a extremely dominant hand and side pressure. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to turn your opponent palm up with wrist and finger flexion. So focus on that. Then, of course, you want to bring the match close to you. And part of arm wrestling, it's not just about you being strong. It's about making your opponent weak. And that's very important to remember in a match, right? Don't just think about yourself. Think about how to make them more uncomfortable. Even if that makes you a little bit more uncomfortable, if it makes them a lot more uncomfortable, that's your advantage. So you want to bring the match close to you. So that means when your elbow's on the pad, drag. You want to be able to use that elbow real estate, and also flexion, right? Bringing the match close to you. So brachialis, brachioradialis, bicep, elbow flexor. So do a bunch of that to bring the match close to you. Make them palm up with wrist flexion, and then worry about going to the side. But once you can get the match close, get them palm up. Side pressure can be a little bit dangerous if you're not conditioned. But the most important thing is get on a freaking table with some friends. Download the Armbed app. Look on the internet. Find some people to train, because me talking to you through a webcam is not going to do it. You got to get on a table with a club, no matter what. I don't care how good you are at Google Foo and YouTube. Get on a table. Start a club if you have to. Get on a table. So that's my spiel. Derek?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Those are definitely the most important strengths on an arm wrestling table, 100%. Depending on how soon you plan to beat this kid at your school, if you want to beat him, if your goal is a Hail Mary, I want to beat this kid next week, then you're not going to do it by getting stronger. You're going to do it by learning how to arm wrestle, first off. That's the only way to make fast gains in terms of you winning more matches on a table, is by getting sharper when you first start arm wrestling, right? Is just by learning the tricks of the trade, learning how to cover someone's thumb knuckle, how to pull backwards and expose their biceps and things like that. So arm wrestling against people that know how to arm wrestle will be my first piece of advice. And there's a lot of reasons for that can go really deep. But just in terms of, if you want to beat this kid at your school, you better go learn how to arm wrestle first off. It's not just cupping and going sideways or whatever you hear on YouTube, like Ryan said. But if in terms of general pressures, working on your hand and wrist takes forever. It does. So to start on it with like super low weight, very high rep stuff, just build a nice foundation, nice base, and then slowly over time get heavier and heavier with lower reps, I think is important. And then you said at the end, as well as standard training, then yeah, building a solid foundation, a solid core, even squat, bench, deadlift, a powerlifting background, something like that, and just build a nice foundation and then to build from there. So a lot of guys, I promote just standard gym splits. I mean, even having bench, shoulder day, bench day, things like that, and build a nice foundation. Then we'll get more and more sport specific as time goes on. But to build a nice foundation, if you're going to get into weight training, I think it's important. But like I said, hand and wrist stuff does take forever. So you're not going to make huge gains on it right away, but it's something you should start as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, if you want to beat that dude next week, you got to learn how to arm wrestle, man. Like that's what it is. It takes a while to get stronger at arm wrestling. It's not fast. It takes a while. I'm still not even strong, and I've been doing it for a hot minute. Right? This guy's name is I am the Coochie Man 22 says, what suits my arm wrestling mechanics? Short forearm, small hand. Whatever you want, man.
Yes.
I mean, because you have a short forearm. Okay, small hand is the more limiting factor of the two, not short forearm. Small hand means that you are not meant to hold on to things, right? You're not gifted at holding on to stuff. So don't arm wrestle in a style that you need to hold on to things, right? That just wouldn't make sense because you got a small hand. Why would you try to hold on to things, right? So you want to be either very fast or very good in the straps, and hopefully both, right? Now, in terms of a move, like that doesn't mean you have to hook or top roll. There's guys with short forearms because you get your forearm at the very front of the pad and vertical, and you can post really hard. So you can top roll with a short forearm 100%. But as a hook puller, you're able to get closer to your core and get tighter because you have a shorter forearm, so it gets tighter. Think like Sasha Andreev and things like that. So your tree. Think of a tree branch, a long tree branch. You can grab at the end of the tree branch, and the leverage will maneuver the tree branch and break it. But a short little tree stump, little short forearm, can't move that thing. It's connected. The base is just thicker and more immovable, so it's closer to the elbow. So obviously, I think mechanically you have a better advantage as a hook puller, but the fact that you get your forearm vertical at the front of an elbow pad and be able to top roll can lead to huge advantages as well. It's just you're more limited. Long arms give you more options. I can chase you to the ends of the earth with my elbow still on the pad. That's what I can do with a long arm, right? So I have more options. I can reach in more places, but I think you can get tighter and more compact and hit some weird angles as a shorter forearm arm wrestler. But yeah, the small hand I think is always a disadvantage. I've never heard of an advantage of having a small hand. Besides, maybe you can ball up your hand and slip a little easier without getting called for it. That's about the only advantage I've ever potentially heard. But yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Be fast and be good in the straps because you're gonna need both. Especially you're gonna be in the straps a lot because you're not gonna be holding on to people, right? So you're gonna be in the straps a lot. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, all of that is spot on. In fact, I train with my girlfriend sometimes, who's 5'3", obviously shorter forearms, and because of that, she can pull me farther away from my body, more so than like any dude in my weight class can, and that makes it much more uncomfortable. So take advantage of that, right? You only have 7 inches to pull back with your arm, and then however long your forearm is, that's how far away your opponent's going to be from their hand. So since you're shorter, use that elbow pad. I want you dragging at the start of every match, but perhaps more importantly, if you have to ask this question, that tells me you haven't been arm wrestling long, and you shouldn't go into it being like, okay, this is what I have. This is how I'm going to have to arm wrestle. Learn to top roll, dude, if only to know what your opponent is going to be feeling and going for, right? Learn to hook, learn to top roll. You may become the best top roller in the entire world with your short forearm and small hand. Who knows? Do not commit yourself to one style. Both because you don't know what you're going to be gifted in. You don't know where you're going to have strength advantages just because it's not visible or mechanical. You might be super gifted in strength in certain areas. So do everything. Even if you're like, yeah, I'm a hooker, I don't care. I hate top rolling. It's stupid. I hate it. Learn how to top roll so that you know what your opponent is going to be looking for on the table. Know the game inside and out. Don't commit to one style because you never know how it's going to change. There have been times where I'm like, yeah, I love hooking. I want to be a hooker, screw top rollers. And there have been times where like, I love top rolling. This is great, blah, blah, blah. Learn it all. Just do everything. That's my advice.
And like we all know, top rolling is for smart people.
Right? Bingo.
I want to do one more training. I know we're out of time. I'm gonna do one more training question just because we stayed away from it a lot. This one I stayed away from it. So I'm gonna do one more. Oh God, this is not gonna be my favorite topic, but let's get into this. Posted by Anime Wee Barif says endurance training. Recently, I've been gassed out way quicker when I go against multiple strong guys in a row, but only after like 3 or 4 rounds. After I become weak, I can't top roll. I can't take any risks. It's very annoying. How can I train for endurance? Ryan, you just take this.
Okay. So, what is endurance, right? How do we even define it? because, if someone trains, let's say someone goes to the gym and all they ever do is put 135 on a bench. That's all they train for as many reps as they can. You know who's still going to smoke that guy? The guy with the 600-pound bench press who doesn't do any endurance training, but then puts on 135 and can bang it out 100-something times, right? So endurance can be misleading on the table. If you're that much stronger than someone, when you're arm wrestling them, it's going to be a lower percentage over your 1 rep max. And so you're not going to get fatigued as quickly. So the first thing I would say is get stronger, right? If these guys are way stronger than you, it's not going to matter your endurance. The gap's just going to be too bigger and you're going to gas out. So if you get stronger, you'll be in the match more with them. You'll tire them out. Again, this is a 2-person thing here. Don't just think about yourself. If you're stronger, they'll get tired, which means less force on you and less fatigue on yourself. So my answer to this stuff is don't look at like Devin and be like, oh, endurance is the way. I'm just going to train endurance, lightweight all the time. Get strong, and that will translate to having more stamina on the table.
Right.
That's my thoughts. But what do you think, Derek?
One thing I'd say in terms of endurance, which is obviously not my specialty, but efficiency on the table. A lot of people will get endurance and efficiency on the table confused, right? There's using one muscle for 4 rounds in a row against strong guys, like you say, and that will get tired, right? It'll get tired almost against anybody. But understanding how to use different muscles and isolate different muscles on them and different ones yourself. So say I'm hooking, for instance, and I'm doing like a dragging style hook. Now that's going to be isolating my bicep, a lot of pressure on my bicep and like my hand and wrist, depending on how they're arm wrestling as well. But say the next round I want to hook, I'm a hooker. Okay, this next one I commit my shoulder. So now I'm using more pressure on my joints rather than relying on my biceps. So now I'm using a lot more chest and shoulder. So my biceps chilling a little bit more because I'm not isolating it. I'm going more sideways. Or say the next round I hook the guy, but it's above his wrist. So now I'm using a lot more wrist flexion and pronation to steer his forearm across the pad. So you learn how to use different even within the same move, different muscles to keep yourself giving one a little bit of a chance to relax and freshen up and things like that. And also the goal is always to be using multiple muscles while they're using 1 or 2, right? Is the plan. So I would just say don't undervalue efficiency on the table and just focus on endurance. Like my bicep is getting tired too fast. Don't discredit efficiency. And yeah, I guess that'd be the best thing I'd say. But in terms of endurance, I know that when I arm wrestle a lot, my endurance is a lot better in every shape and form. The more I'm on a table at practice and more like solid actual like hours spent with pressure in my arm on a table, my endurance goes way up. But besides that, I've never really sat down and focused on endurance. I just know the more I arm wrestle, the better my endurance is, like for me. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
There you go. Be efficient.
Yes. All right. So what do you think? You got anything else you want to talk about?
No. Well, I guess to shout out Aussie, right? Max and Bang Mondays. So we're past 7 here. So when you're done here, head over to Aussie. Tell them we sent you from the Pulse. Showing some love to our Aussie brothers. But no, that was a good episode. What do you got?
No, I mean, yeah, I love going on these popular topics and trying to stay up to date on them and stuff like that. Because I mean, even on my Wednesday streams, a lot of these people won't ask, but we'll forget about certain topics and things like that. So it's kind of nice to be able to cover it. But definitely head over to Aussie Arm Wrestler and tell them we sent you. Love Jake, and is Uncle John with him today?
I'm not sure. I'd have to pull it up, but maybe
it might be. But yeah, if they're on right now, those are our guys, and all the content creators generally try to work together and promote each other and cross promote and things like that, like we should, to keep you guys going from show to show to show, so you guys get nonstop arm wrestling content. But yeah, for me, check out my link tree, which one of my moderators can put in the chat, I believe, if you guys would. And also check out the awswitch.com where you guys get yourself hats, shirts, and stickers. Yeah, we're sending that stuff out like crazy. Bridget's been working wild hours. She's hands are bleeding from sealing envelopes and things like that. And I won't let her rest, man. We just got more shirts and stickers to sell. So, and excited to see you at East West West, man. Really hope you get your passport and everything figured out, and we can hang out and get some Turkish food together and kick it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be my tour guide, man.
Yeah, I'm down.
Download the app.
Yeah, download the app. There's apps.
Oh no. Okay, down.
All right, man. But we're gonna close this out, guys. I love you guys to death. You guys are awesome. Ryan, thank you for being the most amazing host as well.
Likewise.
And next week is on Ryan's channel. I think we're gonna do another one with me and Ryan, and then the following week we'll go back into having guests. We'll start trying to have guests again, but maybe we'll have a random surprise guest next week. But I think right now we're planning on just us.
Gonna try, because I'll be in Turkey. Hopefully, it might be a weird one.
Dude, maybe
I don't know. We'll figure it out, man.
We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll
to
get to the
carry
airport.
it, dude.
Maybe, yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Maybe if you're on your phone, do I have to host it? I might have to host it, huh?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
All right, we'll keep you updated. Anyway,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome. I'll talk to you later. Go check out Aussie Arm Wrestler. See you guys later.
Later, guys. The Pulse.